July, the Minister of Culture, Ricardo Miranda, made an announcement right here on this stage to celebrate Alberta Music Week. And every Thursday afternoon since, except for those 2 Thursdays when it was so smoky you could hardly see across the park and the musicians were a little nervous about playing and singing a lot in that smoke, we had to cancel twice, so that's why we've extended our concert series to this Thursday. So this is the final one for 2018, but we'll cross our fingers and see if we can come back in the spring and summer of next year. So welcome to McDougall Centre. Thank you. This is the home of your government in southern Alberta. The legislature, of course, is in Edmonton, but here in Calgary, cabinet ministers when they're in Calgary, the premier when she's in Calgary, and many of the staff work out of this building. But it is a public building, and the building's rooms are often used by community groups who want to meet here in downtown. So if you are part of a community group and looking for a place in which you like to hold your meetings, you should contact the people here at McDougall Centre. It's a beautiful building inside. If you've never walked through the building that you've helped pay for, you should take a stroll through. It's a gorgeous building. It's been here since 1908, when the city of Calgary was 35,000 people maybe. Originally used to train teachers in the province, and then it became a school itself. But anyway, I don't want to talk too much more because I know you're here to enjoy your lunch hour and enjoy some music. So before we get started, we'd like to, as we always do now here in Calgary and across Alberta, we'd like to acknowledge that we are on the traditional territories of the people of Treaty 7 here in southern Alberta. Treaty 7 peoples include the Blackfoot Confederacy, which comprises the Siksika, the Piikani, and the Kainai First Nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina First Nation. Also, the Stoney Nakoda, including the Chiniki, Bears Paw, and Wesley First Nations. And of course, the city of Calgary is home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. Well, we have 2 musical performers for you today. In about 35 minutes from now, we'll welcome the Bossa Kings, a Calgary-based group that takes rock and roll classics and puts them in a kind of a Brazilian bossa nova set of clothes. So that'll be an interesting half hour, but that's about 35 minutes from now. Right now I want to introduce you to a guy who moved out to Calgary way back in the heady days of was it late 70s, John? Or late 70s, early 80s. John has done many, many things here in Calgary. One of his favorite things, of course, is to play the blues. And one of his deep connections to that music is that in the old King Eddie, which some of you may have frequented before it was taken down and then rebuilt as part of the National Music Centre, John was a regular at the old King Eddie, and in fact, he can claim, among many other things that he's done, he took guitar lessons from the legendary Buddy Guy upstairs in the presidential suite many, many years ago. Those lessons have paid off. John has played in all kinds of groups, including No Guff, the Highwood Jug Band, and many others. John is on blues stages. John has hosted many radio programs, including for CKUA. Many, many years ago, we were colleagues working out of our Calgary studio, but he's been invited today to sing his own brand of the blues. Would you please welcome John Rutherford?
Hey, thank you, David.
We're hot tamales and they're red hot. Ain't you got 'em for sale? Hot tamales and they're red hot, yeah. Ain't you got 'em for sale? I said 2 for a nickel, got 4 for a dime. I said what's on your mama, baby, ain't none of mine, yeah. Hot tamales and they're red hot, yeah. Ain't you got 'em for sale? Well, hot tamales and they're red hot. Ain't you got 'em for sale? Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Oh, my baby's got it for sale. I said, I know a girl said she long and tall, sleeps in the kitchen with her feet in the hall. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ain't you got it for sale? We're hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ain't you got it for sale? Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ah, my baby's got it for sale. I say, my baby bought the V8 Ford. You know she runs that thing all on the running boards. Well, hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ain't you got it for sale? Yeah, hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ah, my baby's got it for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ah, my baby's got it for sale. I say, Grandma laughs and I grow up too. Says, wonder what on earth us children gonna do, yeah. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ah, my baby's got it for sale. And they're red hot, you got them for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ah, my baby's got them for sale. I say, think marijuana gonna, what you gonna do? Say, what a mama, baby, yeah, mine's on a do. Say, hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ain't you got them for sale? Well, hot tamales and the red hot, yeah, you got them for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ah, my baby's got it for sale. And now Billy go back into the bumblebee's nest. He says that ever since then he can't get no rest. Well, hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ain't you got it for sale? Well, hot tamales and the red hot, you got them for sale. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ain't you got it for sale? I say, I know a girl says she treetop tall, baby, sleeping in the kitchen with her feet in the hall, yeah. Hot tamales and the red hot, yeah. Ain't you got it for sale? And now, baby, ain't you got it for sale? Thank you very much. That's a little thing called They're Red Hot that goes back to about the 1930s. Written by a guy named Robert Johnson. Well, it's a treat to be here this afternoon, and David was giving a little bit of a rundown on the facility, on this lovely building, this historic site. I feel akin to this environment, or I feel like I've got some history here. As David mentioned, my name's John Rutherford, and of course the very first premier of this province, going back to when this building would have been built, was good old Uncle Alex. Alex Rutherford was the very first premier of the province. So I kind of like to think of myself as the Alberta's premier of the blues. That's my handle these days. David also mentioned that the King Edward Hotels had a big part in my musical upbringing. I kind of cut my teeth down at the Old Eddie with a number of great artists who were generous with their time and took it upon themselves to teach me a few things and include me in the goings-ons. Learned a lot about the music and a lot about the culture. And this is a song I wrote about those days down at the Old Eddie. This one's called Looking for a Good Time on the Bad Side of Town. neon sign. I'm just looking for a good time over here on the bad side of town. Saints and sinners congregate where the blues resound. Everybody looking for a good time. Well, we're here on the bad side of town. Regulars and musicians getting ahead of the line. Stick with me, baby, we'll find ourselves a good time over here on the bad side of town. Famous Amos and Champagne Joe, you know, they're always hanging around, always looking for a good time over here on the bad side of town. Don't break it, just mess it around. Feels so right, you know it's gotta be wrong. I'm just looking for a good time over here on the bad side of town. Shit. Meet me at the corner of 9th and 4th under the neon sign. I'm just looking for a good time over here on the bad side, right here on the sad side, right here on the bad side. Play the blues for you.
Yeah, thank you very much. A little song remembering the old Eddie.